गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ ध्यायामि चिन्मयानन्दं गुरुदेवं महामतिं प्रेमपूर्णं क्रियाशीलं सदा लोकहिते रतं कृपालुं सुन्दराकारं समर्थं सत्यदर्शिनं वाचा तत्त्वप्रकाशिन्या शोकमोहविनाशिनम्। ॐ श्री सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम, सुप्रभातम। We will chant 13th and 14th after the first shloka. भज गोविंदम भज गोविंदम गोविंदम भज मूढ़मते संप्राप्ते सन्निहिते काले नहि नहि रक्षति डुक्कृङ्करणे। काते कान्ता धनगत चिन्ता वातुल किं तव नास्ति नियन्ता। त्रिजगति सज्जन संगतिरेका भवति भवार्णव तरणे नौका। जटिलो मुण्डी लुञ्चितकेशः काषायाम्बर बहुकृतवेषः पश्यन्नपि च न पश्यति मूढः ह्युदरनिमित्तं बहुकृतवेषः। भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते। The power of habits is being widely talked about in Bhaja Govindam. Even though a person takes up to sannyasa, the strong vasanas which have been developed from the time immemorial many times brings a force in him to indulge. And we find, as we said yesterday, very many places we find these pseudo sannyasis who are unable to control, who are unable to hold on, who are unable to redirect them towards the higher, fall prey to such pleasures of life. And it is so saddening to see that a sannyasi not able to control his inner drive for pleasures not only falls prey for it, but also brings a very bad opinion about sannyasis, rings a wrong bell in the society, and there is definitely a very, very harsh disturbance in the society. Again, for the simple reason, the society looks up to him for their inner development, and when they see him differently, the very respect for that ashrama and the very status of that ashrama comes into a questioning pattern. Therefore, Acharya says, beware, be careful, start working on that and wake up to that call and seek the higher. Further, he continues, Angam galitam palitam mundam dashana vihinam jatam tundam vruddho yati grihitva dandam tadapi namunchatyasha pindam. Angam galitam palitam mundam dashana vihinam jatam tundam vruddho yati grihitva dandam tadapi namunchatyasha pindam. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate. Acharya here refers to those sannyasis, sadhakas, seekers, who have moved away from the family, leaving behind all those relationships for the sake of gaining the higher truth. And what do? They go to the higher planes for the sake of meditation and gaining the supreme reality. And even at the stage when they are, they have crossed over even the middle age. Now see, Angam Galitam. Angam, all the limbs. Galitam, they have become weaker. The limbs have become weaker. Palitam Mundam. Palitam Mundam means where the hairs have become grey. Dashana Vihinam Jatam Tundam. Dashana means teeth. They have even broken and they have gone. He may or may not have the false teeth after the teeth have fallen. But at the same time, in spite of these exercises which he has taken, but the mind has not been still tamed. I use the word tamed because it is the animals which live an instinct-based life. Therefore, the mind has not yet been completely tamed. Yes, he has taken a step further. He has definitely moved forward to a great extent indeed. But still the mind longs for, seeks certain sense pleasures. So here, before I continue, there are two versions about the authorship of these shlokas, the 14 shlokas which are written by his 14 disciples. Yesterday I said, Kate Kanta, the 12th shloka, the 13th shloka was written by Padmapada, but in another version, Jatilo Mundi is attributed to Padmapada, and this shloka, Angam Galitam, is attributed to Totakacharya. Totakacharya says, Vriddho Dandam Grihitva Yati. Vriddha here refers to the elderly person who is aged with all the limitations what we just read. But in spite of it, tadapi, asha pindam na munchati. This bundle, pindam means bundle, bundle of desires has not gone. As we said, there are two reasons. One, the dridha nishchaya for the higher is still not complete, is still not firm. Two, the force of the vasanas that has been created over a period of time, meaning what? Not just a year or decade or centuries, over lives. Those vasanas which has bundled, collected, they have become so forceful that in spite of the fact that he has understood, we earlier saw, pashyannapi na pashyati. He has the knowledge. He has the technical knowledge. But still that force many times overpowers as though and he fails. Asha pindam na munchati. Continuing. Agre vahni prishthe bhanuh ratrau chubuka samarpita januh karatala bhikshastarutala vasah tadapi na munchatyasha pashah bhaja govindam govindam bhaja mudhamate. He mudhamate govindam bhaja. Every scripture, every acharya constantly, consistently, continuously refer to one time-tested method for a very, very strong expression of vasanas. What is that? Govindam bhaja. Govindam here refers to any Ishta Devata. Bhaja, when we say worship, here what does it mean? It means offer our egocentric desires, tadbuditam karma and karma phala. All of them put together, surrender, sublimate at the feet of the Lord. Think of Him time and again. Why is this said? Always they say, think of Bhagavan, remember Bhagavan. Why is it said? Because idle mind is a devil's workshop. When the mind is idle, it naturally starts thinking. Because we cannot stop thinking. And when it naturally starts thinking without an object of thought, predefined object of thought, then what does it do? It goes to the mechanical thought pattern. What is this mechanical thought pattern? Thoughts which goes towards objects of desires. This is law. This is law. This is how mind functions. If you say, why should the mind function like that? That is the nature of the mind. Sugar is sweet. Why should it be sweet? That is the nature of sugar. Chili is hot. Why is it hot? That is the nature of the chili. You cannot question it. Similarly, the nature of the mind is to flow in the direction of mechanical thinking. If this is understood, the quality and texture of thoughts that I entertain time and again will decide my regular way of thinking, my pattern of thinking. Therefore, all our Shastras have given several methodology for keeping the mind in the right direction rather than indulging in sense pleasures. This again, the same thought which was there earlier continues again here. Agre Vahnihi. This seeker, he probably goes to the Himalayas for the sake of meditation. Agre Vahnihi. In the front, he has lit fire. Why? It is chill cold, biting cold. We in the down south, we cannot understand such. We go for a picnic and then we really struggle and come back also. And then we probably claim, oh, it is pitch cold, I cannot stay there. No, man cannot stay there. But just remember, those army people, especially the Indian army now, at this current situation, who are staying there in minus 30, minus 50, minus 70 degrees. Why do they stay there? What makes them stay there? What makes them not give up and then come back to their family? Because of their commitment to the nation. Such a strong commitment to the nation makes them hold on to that pitch cold, and all their whims and fancies will not disturb them because of their higher goal of life, service to the nation. Similarly, when I set my goal very high and I am constantly in tune with the higher, it is not that the soldiers go and sleep, let the China come and attack, that time I will wake up and I will also attack. No. Every day in that pitch cold with that heavy luggage of all their things and then the heavy gun, we can't lift 5 kg rice from the nearest shop to the house. Think. We want somebody to go and bring. We cannot walk here and come. We take one scooter to go to a shop which is not even 100 yards. Think. If they have to stay there and work with so much of commitment, look at the amount of exercises they have to go in spite of a war not being there. Similarly, a sannyasi, a seeker, a sadhaka, in spite of anything, must tune his mind towards the higher and keep it there. Then what happens? When the mind is engaged with higher thinking, the lower thinking will not disturb. Think. When I see the sun, beautiful example. When I see the sun, I don't see the stars. It doesn't mean stars does not exist. They become irrelevant in front of the sun. When my goal is very higher and very strong, even though there are smaller petty demands, they become irrelevant because my mind is attuned to the higher. Now look at the seeker. In the front, bonfire because it is pitch cold. He cannot survive without that. Prishte bhanuhu. In spite of the daytime at that pitch cold, right behind that sun is there. Prishte bhanuhu, which is heating up his back. And in the front there is bonfire, which is heating up his front portion of the body. Ratrau chubuka samarpita januhu. Ratrau, at the night time, there is no sun. So what he does, he folds his knees towards his chest and holds it tightly with the chin held on that knees, and then holds it so tight to, what do you call, to escape the chill cold. To hold on to the chill cold. He holds on so tight himself. The body heat is what is giving him some warmth probably. We all can only talk about it. We have not experienced. Today we go to all those hardly any -4, -5, -50, -70. We completely, there's no question we will die. That is because we have not trained our body. But he has trained his body. In that pitch cold, he is holding Karatala Bhikshaha. During the day, Karatala Bhikshaha. He doesn't have a bowl also. He holds both of his hands together and takes alms, eats, and that too those days only once. Only once they can eat. And what? Only so much. In fact, that much is more than sufficient for a human being to survive. Frankly speaking. It is we people to cater to our irresistible demands of the tongue that we say we require a breakfast, we require a lunch, we require a dinner, and madhya madhya samarpayami. Whereas for a human being to survive in this world, very, very less food is required. Therefore, need is only that much. So he lives with the basic need. Karatala Bhikshaha. Tarutala Vasaha. He doesn't have a beautiful ashram to stay with AC. On the roots of the tree, he lies down. For him, what is a roof? The roof is the beautiful sky. And the lights are the stars and the moon. Think. AC, eternally AC. All the time there is breeze. Think. That is a life he lives there. Yet, tadapi namunchati. Therefore, the power of desires is so strong. To grow over it is such a difficult task. See, these are the 4 aspects of life that brings disturbance in the mind. These are the 4 that brings mental stress. What are they? The first one is called possessions. The more and more possession I have, the more and more I will be disturbed. Simple reason. Yoga, Kshema. 2 aspects of human life. One is yoga. What is yoga? Acquiring that which I do not have. Getting those objects of desire which I don't have. From the Laukika standpoint, yoga has very many meanings. The related meaning I take here, yoga. And then what? Kshema. Having got that object, I have to protect. Yoga, Kshema. Acquiring and holding on to it. Maintenance. Parampuja Gurudev used to often say, marriages are made in heaven. Maintenance is your problem. So, getting married is not an easy thing. I mean, it is not a very difficult thing. But to maintain is such a difficult thing. Begetting children is not a very difficult thing. But catering to their needs, very important. Very difficult many times. Think. Yoga, Kshema. These are the 2 most important things which brings lot of stress to human being. What to talk of COVID situation now? So many people are out of jobs. So many people are on the streets. There are very poor families who are dependent upon daily wages and they don't have work to do and they don't have proper 2 square meals a day. Leave alone 3 meals, not even 2 meals a day. I heard of certain slum area where the family did not have milk to feed the child. Such are the conditions. And there are other extremes. They don't know what to do with what they have. Think. And they want more and more, and then they have to protect it again and again. They have to bring in lot of security for what they have already got. Thus we find mind is so stressful as much as possessions we have. I have a computer, then I have to maintain that computer. I have a mobile, maintenance must be there. If I don't add antivirus, the virus will eat away this laptop or the computer. Think. Every object comes with a tag. Tag of what? Maintenance. Think. Acharya here says, possessions are the main factor of mental stress. Second one is obligation. One is possession, second one is obligation. The more I take favors from others, the more I end up in building obligations. That again is a stress for the mind. Janakripa naishturyam utsrujyatam, says Acharya in Sadhana Panchakam. Don't fall into the prey of kindness of the people, because obligation. Today, when people go for some asking for donation, there are some people who don't want to entertain that. Why? Because today if I take donation from a certain person, then tomorrow he will come with another application for donation. So many people don't want to exhibit their donations. Why? They don't want people to know that they have donated. Obligation. Think. The third one is a very, 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 very important, very strong mental disturbance. What is that? Relationships. Maximum mental stress in a human being is only through relationships. And the last one is again very important, is the transactions that we undergo during our life. Every transaction will bring lot of mental stress. Thus, possessions, obligations, relationships and transactions, all the four bring tremendous amount of mental stress. A sannyasi is supposed to give up all of them. Why? He has to divert his mind towards the higher. That alone is his work. Therefore, he gives up everything and goes away from all of them so that he can focus, he can orient his mental energy towards the higher. Continuing, this shloka actually is dedicated to Hastamalaka. You must have heard that beautiful work by Hastamalaka called Hastamalakiyam. A very beautiful stotra. In fact, that is the only thing which has come out to limelight. We don't know what other work he has done. Further, Kurute Ganga Sagar Gamanam Vrata Paripalanam Athavadanam Jnana Vihina Sarvamatena Bhajati na muktim janmashatena Kurute Ganga Sagar Gamanam व्रतपरिपालनमथवा दानं ज्ञानविहीनः सर्वमतेन भजति न मुक्तिं जन्मशतेन भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते सम्प्राप्ते सन्निहिते काले नहि रक्षति डुक्कृञ्चकरणी. In Vedanta, there are these 5 basic principles. Another Acharya calls it as cardinal principles. Any Vedantic seeker must primarily know these 5 principles. And if this is clearly known, we will find our life much easier and our path towards the higher also very easy. The first one is lasting peace, P-E-A-C, lasting peace, security and happiness is possible only in moksha. Let me repeat. Lasting peace, never-ending, eternal peace is found, security is found, and happiness can be found. All the 3 of them only O-N-L-Y. Caps, quotes, underline, emphasize, bold, italics, if you want to talk in the modern language. Only in moksha and not in any other things, beings or situation. In fact, to depend upon things, beings and situation for my happiness is mano daurbalyam. One step ahead. For few, you may not like this statement. From the highest standpoint, technically speaking, depending upon even puja, etc., punaskara, etc., are also dependency, according to Vedanta. They all have a place, but they are not the highest. It is not the highest. Every situation, every action, every person, everything other than me cannot be depended upon. This is the first law. Lasting peace, security and happiness is only in moksha. Second point. Moksha is possible only through spiritual knowledge. I repeat. Moksha is possible only through spiritual knowledge. No other way. Jnanena tu jnanadeva kaivalyam. Therefore, if you want lasting peace, if you want security, if you want happiness, then it is only through moksha, and moksha is only again O-N-L-Y possible through spiritual knowledge. The third point, spiritual knowledge is only possible, I repeat, only possible O-N-L-Y through systematic education. Look at the proper thought flow. Spiritual knowledge is possible only through systematic study. It is not possible by any Mahatma touching the head. It is not possible by taking bath in the 22 wells of Rameshwaram. It is not possible by going and taking a bath in Ganga. Remember, the in few shlokas from now, Ganga Snanam is an important factor for purification. Underline. Ganga Snanam is very, very important. We will deal when we come there. Right? All other activities are for purification, but for moksha, knowledge alone is important, and knowledge can be gained only through systematic study, no other way. It is a categorical statement by the Shastra. Jnanadeva tu kaivalyam. And this spiritual knowledge, the systematic study is possible only with the help of a guru and Shastra. No other person can give you spiritual knowledge. You may go into internet and read hundreds and thousands and crores of pages of Shastric Jnanam which is there available in the internet. But it is only a guru who can take us to the higher self. Right? Fourth point. Systematic education is possible only with ONLY. Systematic education is possible only with a prepared mind. Without mental preparation, systematic study is impossible. I would not say it is difficult. It is impossible without a prepared mind. And the fifth point is a prepared mind can be accomplished in many ways. A prepared mind, a pure mind, a stable mind is possible for us to accomplish in very many ways. Now look at the difference. The first 4 points said only. There is no second way. And the last point says there are many ways to prepare the mind. To prepare the mind, when I say there are very many different ways, it means I can take up sadhanas of various kind which definitely suits my temperament. A cutthroat, intellectual, rational personality, according to Shastra. A very highly intellectual, rational personality who, what do you call this? One very interesting statement somebody said. No nonsense personality. Such a personality will definitely not find solace in probably going to a temple and doing pradakshina. That is not his cup of tea. And there are other person who is very sentimental, very emotional personality. For him, going and sitting in a temple, singing some bhajans with probably some tala, going to a pilgrimage, padayatra, maybe he feels better, but he feels very hard in sitting in a Vedanta class. So it depends how the maturity of the mind is. The level of the maturity of the mind decides a path to pick up. And the purificatory process, which has got many ways, by itself, if I pick up certain thing, will take me to the higher. It will graduate my mind to the higher for jnanam. What does it mean? It prepares my mind. It cleanses my mind of all the unwanted, unwarranted, irrational, irresponsible desires and purifies my mind. What is purification of mind? Quietude of mind, not getting distracted, not getting stressed up through by what? All the four: possession, obligation, relationships and transaction. This mind, which is thus not hooked on to, or which has released itself from these four: P, O, R, T. P, O, R, T. You can remember this: possession, obligation, relationships and transaction. A mind which has released itself away, which has given up importance to all these four, is a mind which has no more stress. That mind which has no more stress is a mind which is available for jnanam. So by giving up these four, what do we gain? Jnana yogyata siddhyartham, all the purificatory process. Those are many. But systematic education is only with prepared mind, and spiritual knowledge is only with systematic education, study, and moksha is possible only with spiritual knowledge, and moksha alone is that which will give me lasting peace, firm sense of security and complete happiness. What is this happiness? Happiness not because of anything, happiness in spite of anything and everything. Security, I am secured. How am I secured? Bhagavan himself is in me. What more do I require? Think. And therefore, when I am completely secured, my nature being happiness, I am at peace. This state of my mind is called beatitude. B-E. Beatitude meaning what? Just be. And frankly speaking, all of our engagements, appointments, activities, etc., actually unknowingly is seeking this beatitude. Why am I not able to gain that experience even though I am the very nature of that beatitude? Sat, Chit, Ananda Swarupaha Ahamasmi. Still I am not able to gain that because of what? Because of my varied dissipations. Think. Now look at this. Kurute Ganga Sagaragamanam. Going towards Ganga for Ganga Snanam, which reaches Sagara. Vrata Paripalanam. So many vratas. Up. My God, people have, it is a fancy. It has become a fashion. Why do I say it is fancy and fashion? Because it is not being done for what it is to be done. I am not condemning those vratas, please. Don't misunderstand me. Don't come with a lathi behind me. I am not condemning the vrata. Vrata has a certain purpose, yes, but is the mind connected with that purpose? How many of us know why Ekadashi? Ekadashi vrata, I should not eat. Therefore, Dashami, full load. And legally Dwadashi, full load. Fasting so that I can feast before and after in the name of that day's fasting. Think. That is not what is called for. Vrata Paripalanam is to keep the mind at the feet of the Lord, thinking about the Lord, and not waste time in eating only. And for that eating, preparation. After eating, cleaning. Think. One. Second reason, at least one day give some rest to that Vaishwanara Agni. All rotten things we eat from morning to morning. I won't say morning to night. There are some people who eat something even at midnight. Think. All the rotten things what we eat, Vaishwanara Agni has to digest. Think. Please note a warning. I am giving you a warning today. All the junk foods and other things which we constantly eat will weaken the Vaishwanara Agni, the functioning of the Vaishwanara Agni, and very soon we will get digestion problem. You don't have to wait till the age of old age. The more I succumb to the pressure of eating all junk foods, etc., the sooner I will get all kinds of problems. And the world is very interesting. World will encash upon my weaknesses. If you consciously see, hospitals and hotel, both are the flourishing businesses. Hotels because we can't resist. Hospitals because we have to get treated. May I please clearly underline and remind you, I have nothing against you eating, nothing against hospitals, but the point is, who is the sufferer? Therefore, vrata is given only to hold the mind, direct the mind, channelize the mind. Further, we will see tomorrow. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.